I'm Spike.
I'm Chris.
And we are geeking out. And this is not my beautiful house. And this is not my beautiful life. This is why we've been on a 3-week delay here at the Who What Where Empire. The beloved and I moved. Yay! We finally moved in, and my new library, which is the Who What Where studio, is roughly 3/4 the size of the original one. So that's where all squeezed in right now. And I still can't get over the bad habit of looking at this display screen, looking at what we're filming instead of looking at the camera.
It is really hard to, because it's like...
Anyway. Still can't get the stinking mic to work, but we're working on that. I've got a cunning plan in place to fix that. We'll see what happens.
Cunning plan? Ooh.
And, yeah, cheap secondhand equipment. I'll find some. But anyway. So, we are finally back. It's Sunday, October 23rd, 2022. Yesterday, in case you missed it, we actually did a live stream over on Chris's Movie Geek Facebook group. Our first ever live stream, called it Aftermath. That one was on Black Adam and Halloween Ends. And in case anybody wants to know, Chris gives Black Adam a 4, I give it a 4.5. And he gives Halloween Ends a 0, and I couldn't come out of my coma long enough to care what happened. I'm still waiting. I'm still waiting for William Shatner to come in and stab everybody. So
that would be
a spectacular end to Halloween Ends. So, how's it been, Chris?
It's been pretty good. Not bad. Not bad at all.
Boy, just that much excitement. Like, you get 3 weeks off. Get a 3-week vacation and just nothing, huh?
Oh, no. Okay, look. So, I got a bunch of...
He's rat racing,
listen, there's a bunch of stuff here.
Got a bunch
Some of it
here?
is now out of date, so I had to, like, mark out a couple things. And then there's some things that I realized, is this really important to talk about?
Is Abe Vigoda still dead?
Yeah.
Okay. That's some... Anymore, you can't tell. But anyway. So, October 23rd, like I said, we're going to try to run through some news-ish stuff and let's just see where it goes, because we've got this episode coming out. I'm still trying to get together the Aftermath release for YouTube and for Rumble. Huh?
You wouldn't let me send it.
Yeah, I noticed that. Facebook is so helpful in sharing. I actually had to install Chrome, which I uninstalled 3 years ago, so I could get the one extension that would actually let me snitch Facebook video from a private group, Chris. Movie Geek is a private group. You have to go in by invitation.
Look, yes, I made it that way. I didn't know you could have told me that. I made it that way because I was getting people that was wanting to join that had nothing but on their profile. You go and visit their Facebook and it's nothing but advertisements and stuff. Yeah, and it's like, no.
I've got several of those on the Who What Where Facebook.
So it's like they gotta go through me if they want to join. Just saying.
Well, that's a high hurdle to clear. Alright, so let's talk about what's happening in the news. What's going on, Chris? Talk to me.
Okay.
I know there was a whole bunch of movie bombs since we've been gone, but...
Yes. But we will start with we'll start with the sad stuff first, okay? Because we did lose some people.
Break my heart. Go ahead.
One of the people we lost was the legendary Angela Lansbury at the age of 96.
We've been losing a lot of the high, I don't want to say high age people, but we're losing people in their late 90s, which I think is a good thing. And she was smoking hot in Gaslight. So she was 19 in Gaslight. She was smoking. Which brings us to another thing. We'll be recording an episode of Backrack Video this week. I'm calling it Hello Film Noir. It's your introduction to film noir. Gaslight was one of the very best, but didn't make it in my list of 5 you should see when you get the chance. So. That will be coming up later on. So.
See? See?
Yeah. So Angela Lansbury's gone. Who else? Who else wandered off the reservation?
Robbie Coltrane
that one hurt.
passed at 72. He has Robert's been in a bunch of things, but mostly known for playing Hagrid in Harry Potter films, which is really glad to know that there's not just fans of Harry Potter, which I knew that there was fans of Harry Potter, but fans of the actor and the creator of, you know, what he's done. Because when he passed, when word got out that he passed away, I think it was last weekend, they had, people were announcing that they was having Harry Potter parties just for his passing, yeah. So, and those movies are not that, you know, easy to get through, but I'm just saying, but, you know.
I don't care. I'm still thinking of him as Sausage. He's been a comedian for years and years. He's one of the ones who used to hang around with Rowan Atkinson and his lot. So he's been around since the Monty Python days minimum. So he's a good guy. We'll miss you, Robbie. So.
Alright.
Alright.
So now, let's get into some tech stuff news. Well, not tech news. It's more of selling your soul to the devil news. Okay?
Must be Thursday. Yeah. Yeah, let's talk about selling our souls to the devil on the Sabbath. Let's go ahead, Chris.
So here we go.
Is your card hot? Is it starting to smolder yet?
Well, I mean,
I really do have a lot of electronic equipment in here. We really don't need the lightning strikes, okay?
Bruce Willis has sold the rights for his image to be put in films, basically deep fake. Now anybody can take his face and put it on in any movie, so it doesn't even have to be him. As you know, Bruce Willis has retired from acting because he was diagnosed with
One of those.
I can't remember what it is, but he can't speak proper. He can't speak right, and pretty soon he's not going to be able to do that at all because of this. So he sold his rights for them to deep fake his face for Hollywood movies.
I can't say anything. I really can't say anything because at least he's making something off of it. I filed the likeness of movie stars somewhere in there with rock stars, like selling their catalogs and stuff. I'm perfectly fine with it because it means you're getting a nice big pile of cash you could use now. Kind of like J.G. Wentworth for celebrities, but it's worked out pretty well for Mark Hamill because boy, Star Wars fans got hot and heavy when he popped up in season 2 of The Mandalorian. Spoilers. Especially looking like 1977 Mark Hamill. So that really got a lot of people's attention. Actually, it looked like 1983 Mark Hamill, but yeah. So that was. What in the world you would actually use Bruce Willis's face for is beyond me, unless they've got another 15 diehards to crank out. Plus, how in the world did Bruce Willis manage to have a 40-year career like that? 35. He really got his start on Moonlighting in '86, I think.
Yeah.
But still, it's more power to him.
But he is not the only one that sold his rights of something. James Earl Jones also sold off his right for Disney, well, I guess pretty much anybody in Hollywood to use his voice for Darth Vader, Mufasa.
He's having vocal issues too, though.
I think he's getting up there too. So
that would be interesting. It's one thing to deep fake images. It's another to deep fake voices, because you're really going to have to work, because the Uncanny Valley works for audio as well as video.
Yeah.
It'll be curious to see how they manage to pull that off.
Yeah. So of course I can listen to James Earl Jones talk all day. So
I heard him read the phone book one time. That was fascinating.
Read the phone book.
Aaron Adams, 555. Anyway, what do we got? Let's go.
So there is a superhero movie that we talked about yesterday. And today the numbers are in. It has reached $60 million on opening weekend.
Not bad. And that's just, what, Friday, Saturday? Thursday,
Yeah.
Thursday night, Friday, Saturday.
Yeah.
So it's still got Sunday numbers to go. So that is not bad, especially for a project that's been delayed since, what, 2020? When that's supposed to come out,
Yeah.
summer 2020?
Yes.
And I know we got Shazam, the next Shazam movie coming out for Christmas.
Yeah, we got, so
That
this is
one
not,
I'm already sold on, by the way.
just talking about superhero movies alone, we have Black Adam now. Then I believe we have
Black Panther.
Yeah, Black Panther, and then Shazam. And then I think that's it for this year. Yeah, that's it for this year.
That's plenty for this year. But
So yeah, those are like three major. Whoa.
now Shazam, I'm already sold on. I like Black Adam, not enough to go out and buy another ticket and see it a second time, but
I don't
it
think
wasn't bad.
like I don't.
I can see where people could be fans of it.
Like I believe that Black Adam and not Black Adam, but Black Panther and Shazam are both going to be worthy sequels. Probably not as good as the first one because they hardly ever are, but it's still going to be fun to sit there and just watch these movies.
It depends, because it used to be the sequel was never as good as the movie, and then Star Trek 2 came out and kicked Star Trek 1's butt. And then all of a sudden, your sequels can go in two directions. You can either go the Friday the 13th direction, where it just goes straight to the gutter and just keeps diving deeper and deeper in the mud, or you get hot and cold. You're cold on the first one, somehow you get a second one greenlit, second one's hot. Spock is cold, Voyage Home is hot, and then it kind of trickled off after that. But considering after Star Trek 4, the Voyage Home, we got Star Trek The Next Generation. Again, first two seasons sucked, third season got better, so we'll see.
Now, this next story is pretty interesting. We were talking about this
Is it
before.
fascinating?
Well, we were talking about this before we started shooting yesterday, after we got done watching Black Adam.
Eventually, yeah.
But this is Rotten Tomatoes news here. Now, Rotten Tomatoes go by certain critics, and they really pooped on Black Adam. So then an interesting story came out yesterday from some people that actually apparently work for Rotten Tomatoes. But apparently we've been going by this all wrong.
Yeah.
It makes no sense. I think that they're just trying to come up with stuff to cover their tracks for this mishap of, low critic scores on a movie. But apparently to them, they said the bad score that they give means the movie is good. If they give it a high score, the movie is bad. Which, yeah, that's what you have been doing for a long time. But they're trying to say is that's the point. Makes no, exactly, it makes no sense. Makes no sense at all.
Rotten Tomatoes.
Oh, man.
Rotten Tomatoes,
Funny.
Rotten Tomatoes, Rotten Tomatoes. You have no control, allegedly, over what the critics say. You have no control, allegedly, over what your audience says. That's the way it should be. Let it be. Then when you get Black Adam that gets, what was the critic score, 44, and the audience score, last one I saw yesterday was 88. You get the high lows like that. Rotten Tomatoes should have said ages ago, that's not our fault. We're an aggregator. We look at the critic numbers, we give you the critic number, and then we are open and honest with the critics and the audience. This is what the critics said, this is what the audience wants. What if they're manipulating the numbers? Well, let them manipulate. It's a free and open system. Make it open source, which is what you're supposed to have been doing, so people can actually audit your numbers, and then they can see, well, yeah, if they were manipulating numbers, people are artificially upvoting on the audience score. or somebody at Rotten Tomatoes was tanking the positive critics so that the critic score would go down, and he's been fired. So if this goes back to a deeper tech issue, okay, this is going to be, pardon the phrase, huge in the next couple of years, okay? Hold on, yeah, starting in January. Listen to me, listen. Starting in January, Google, Facebook, YouTube, which is Google, and Instagram, which is Facebook, and Twitter, which is Elon Musk's right now. All of these huge online publishers, they have been shielded from legal liability for what's published on their sites since back in '98, I think. They came up with this thing. It was called Section 230. 230 pretty much immunizes these online websites from being responsible for what's posted, okay? Because they said back then, we have no way of controlling what people post to our website. We can try to clean it up after, but we have no control over what people post. So Congress, like, yeah, if we're going to keep the town square open, then yeah, we need to immunize these tech groups. That's how they became cajillionaires, because suddenly they didn't have any legal liabilities. They didn't have to have the big expensive legal teams. They didn't have to worry about libel cases or anything like that, and they just went to town on it. Well, it turns out, yes, they actually do have the right to control what you say, which means they should have been treated not as open carriers, not as just like a bulletin board for the internet. They should have been treated as publishers who selectively print what they want or what they allow. So now we know Google can knock you flat off the internet and ignore you because everybody uses Google to find things. Turns out they're quite good at doing that, which means they're a publisher. They should be liable for every result they give. Which means if somebody sneaks in something nasty, that's Google's fault. Google owns it, and Google has to take responsibility for it. That's what your corporate overlords always preached. Now you get to drink the bathwater. Coming up in January 2023, the very first thing the Republican House and the Republican Senate, and I called it. I'm not about to do a chore duty this week, but I'll just go ahead and say Republicans can take the House and the Senate, okay? They are going to nutshot Joe Biden, and then right after that, what they're going to do, they're going to strip all that 230 protection away from big tech, and big tech is going to get itself sued out of existence in very short order. And it's going to begin with Google, because they got the deepest pockets of all, and then Facebook will be right behind them. And then most likely Microsoft, even though Microsoft is not so much in the publisher game, very smart on their part, but that's what I say. So, now where were we? What was the original story here? I've lost track.
Rotten Tomatoes suck.
Rotten Tomatoes does suck. But, again, if they lose their 230, because we've seen Rotten Tomatoes will manipulate a number in a heartbeat. If somebody at Rotten Tomato headquarters decides they want to push whatever new woke movie is out there, or they want to punish whatever Black Adam because it's more conservative leaning than... Why does Rotten Tomatoes hate black people? I'm asking. Rotten Tomatoes pushing the rotten score on Black Adam. What you doing? Sauce for the goose, sauce for the gander. See how that works? And that's where your 230 getting stripped away is going to kick you in the teeth, Rotten Tomatoes. So I wouldn't worry about Rotten Tomatoes for too much longer, because they're either going to have to get hands way off or hands way on. Either way, they'll be useless as well, actually, if they're hands off, they won't be useless. They'll actually be useful. We can get an honest count. But if they get more hands-on, they will be as utterly useless as Ask Jeeves and Netscape and Mozilla. So, Greek. I've got to replace this thing. You realize this is my chair from Gateway Comics? When we were moving in, I actually found my old Gateway Comics business card from 2007.
We should so bring Gateway Comics back.
Don't start with me.
What?
But anyway,
I'm just saying.
the comic book industry is dead in this country, man. It is dead and buried. It is dead and buried. Although Amazon is not going to be lasting much longer from what I'm hearing. So finally their losses are catching up to them. Nobody has the money to give them to burn anymore. Which is the truest duty of its own. How corporate America just completely screwed the pooch. But what's the next thing on your news-ish feed? What you got? What you got? What you got? Should I read it?
No,
Here, should I read it?
no. Trust me, you don't want to read this.
What is it? What is it?
Okay,
What is
so
it?
I can't believe
What's it?
I wrote this down because I thought it was hilarious. Because a lot of things this guy's saying here lately is hilarious. But we're going to talk
Dave
about
Chappelle?
no, we're going to talk about Kanye West.
Yay!
You know, believe it or not, this guy was trying to run for president.
So was Donald Trump. You saw how that worked out.
Yeah, but
So was
it's-
The Rock. The Rock gave it up,
This-
though.
this-
The Rock don't want the pay cut.
the stuff that he's been saying here lately is been really. It's been out there.
It's been extra spicy, we'll
It's
say.
been, yeah. So I wrote this down because this is the latest thing he said. And this is movie related.
Kanye. Cat does not approve. Anyway, so what was the latest thing he said?
According to Kanye West.
Something about pushing their matzo balls into the sea? What?
Now this one deals with a movie. A really good movie actually. But Kanye West claims that Quentin Tarantino stole Django Unchained from him. Said that it was his idea. Now, the reason why I thought this was funny, because Quentin based this off of something that he grew up watching, which was a TV, well, was it a TV show or was it mini movies? It was spaghetti westerns called Django. You know Django? The original Django?
I played Jenga. Does that count?
No.
No. I've never heard of it, and I don't care.
Well, they
I
were
really don't.
old spaghetti westerns back in like the 60s, 70s or something, but Quentin grew up watching these and he made his own adaptation of the franchise, which was really good. They had Jamie Foxx in it, Chris Waltz, Leonardo DiCaprio, and probably one of his most controversial but yet acting skill ability type of roles. So.
That where he went to the... No, I ain't going there. Never mind. Move on. So anyway, I actually believe Ye over
What?
QT, yes, because only a black person can make a black movie. That's what we've been told by Hollywood for the last 30 years. Quentin Tarantino cannot make a black movie. Only a black person can make a black movie, and it has to be at least a black woman involved in the production somewhere, or it doesn't count.
I was going to say, I was like,
Well, I take that back. There has to be at least one black woman and 10 white women, or it doesn't count, because only Karens count.
You had me scared there because I was like, Quentin's did Pulp Fiction, which had Samuel L. Jackson doing Samuel L. Jackson. You had Jackie Brown. Had Pam Grier in it. Greer, is that what I'm saying? Pam Grier? Yeah, Pam Grier. Okay. Yeah. I'm just saying, you know, just, okay.
Fine. Yeah. Go ahead. What's your next one?
Keanu Reeves has said that he is coming back for a Constantine 2 movie.
He's Keanu Reeves. What are you going to tell him?
Yeah.
Keanu Reeves in that rarefied air. He's in that, to be honest, he's in the Tom Hanks / Bruce Willis style of celebrity, where you have no idea how he actually became a lasting celebrity, but he is.
Mm-hmm.
Because you look at Bruce Willis, he had Moonlighting, he had the first 2 Die Hard movies. and then he did, and it's like, it's kind of the same guy over and over, and then all of a sudden he does The Sixth Sense and The Fifth Element, and you're like, how's he getting all these parts? And he's selling his ugly mug for like a $1 gajillion or something to some idiotic Hollywood studio. Tom Hanks was a drag queen for 2 years, and now he's supposed to be the biggest star in Hollywood. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson used to job for Steve Austin, for crying out loud. How is he #1 in Hollywood now? Where do these guys come from?
Hey, if they can do it, we can do it. Do we want to do it? No.
No, we don't. Not really. Okay.
But, yeah.
Moving on.
Sony has announced that some release dates here. Karate Kid movie for June 7th, 2024.
Now that is not supposed to be Cobra Kai, right?
Yeah, it's not supposed to be Cobra Kai. Also have release dates for Madam Web, which will be February 16th, 2024. And Kraven the Hunter for January 13th, 2023. Whoa.
Are these guys actually reading these books? Do they have any idea who Madam Web actually was? Sorry about the noise.
Well, I mean, also you got Kraven the Hunter, which is literally like 2 months away. How'd you do that?
Kraven the Hunter is probably a misprint. I'd say it's probably 2025. The Kraven the Hunter was a throwaway villain for years until Mike. Oh, who wrote that? Was it Mike Barron or was it Peter David wrote Kraven's Last Hunt? Somebody will correct me on that. It's probably neither one, but Kraven's Last Hunt, where basically Kraven goes and shoots Spider-Man in the face and buries him and then takes over as Spider-Man and tries to... Basically that's what Superior Spider-Man ripped off 30 years later, but did it better. But Kraven's Last Hunt, yeah. If you really want to spend money on Kraven the Hunter, do it. I mean, for goodness sake, they made a Black Adam movie. I'm sure they can make a Kraven the Hunter movie, but I really don't see... They haven't really been able to do a halfway... I take it back. They've done exactly one season of Punisher correct well on Netflix before they canceled it.
Yes.
Everything, all Punisher before that was kind of to varying degrees. I still remember Dolph Lundgren as Punisher, so yeah, that shows where I'm coming from.
I remember.
Madam Web, honestly, come on. Madam Web is so anti-Spider-Man because Spider-Man was supposed to be every guy. Spider-Man was supposed to be the guy you could sympathize with and who the two of you could sit down and probably share a burger and fries, although he'd probably make you pay for it, as we saw it in Into the Spider-Verse. But anyway, Madam Web is some kind of little full hocus mumbo jumbo that they threw in, and they're probably making the movie to keep the studio executives' chicks happy. So, that's fine. I guess it was a nice little run Sony had while it lasted. We'll see what happens. Now that I've completely buried Kraven for the second time, what else you got?
Okay.
Come on, homie.
Well, I'm going. Hey, I've been ready. Just
We're 30
going
minutes
on
in.
and on
We're 30 minutes in. Keep pitching.
All right. Zac Efron will be in a new biopic movie from the studio A24, which has done pretty good with what they have put out so far. Based on the Von Erich brothers, whatever. The Iron
Von
Claw.
Erich brothers, yes.
The
They were
Iron
professional
Claw.
wrestlers back in Texas in the early 80s. I don't care. Go ahead.
Oh, okay.
I really don't care.
Well, here's something else you won't care about, but I added this because I believe the movie is out now on Tubi. Yeah, Tubi actually. A free thing. But I knew they was going to do this.
Drive in the movie.
But Johnny Depp and the Amber Heard trial has been turned into a movie. And it's a movie on Tubi, so you can watch it for free pretty much, with actors who don't look anything like who they are supposed to look like.
See, that's where you need your deep fake CGIs.
It's hilarious. I saw the trailer for it and I was like,
Well, they
are
can't
you
make it
serious?
look too close to it because they'd have to pay them royalties on their using their likeness. So.
Oh, they probably changed the names too. I don't know, but it's just hilarious. Alright.
Johnny Heard and Amber Depp. Derp. Now, if you take Heard and Depp, you get Derp.
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 The Dirt Trial.
Derp
Dun,
trial.
dun, dun. I like that.
Move on.
John Rhys Davis, has said that he is going to be back in Indiana Jones 5 as, of course, Sully. Oh, come on, that's actually kind of good news right there.
Let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. Cram Steven Spielberg into a refrigerator and nuke it into the desert. Let it be. Nobody wants Indiana Jones 5 at this point. Nobody needs Indiana No. 5 at this point. I love John Rhys Davies, but...
I do.
No. I can watch Clint Eastwood at 90. I can't watch Harrison Ford at 90.
I can't watch Clint Eastwood at 90. Every movie he makes, I have to turn up the volume to max just to hear what his dialogue is.
You don't need to know what his dialogue is. It's "get off my lawn, punk."
That's all I can understand out of that entire movie. I was like, what is he saying? He's
Which is
talking.
all you need to understand. Well, that's spaghetti western out of your ears. What you got?
Alright.
Come on, bring it.
Multiple film studios are suing the internet providers like Verizon, Comcast, AT&T, and a few
Ahoy,
others
mateys!
for failure to prevent or ban consumers who pirate movies and TV shows.
I told you. Excuse me there, cat. Bam! I told you.
Yeah, he is.
Guys, they're panicking. They're flop sweating, okay? All their precious little treatments and all the precious little reboots keep blowing up in their face like Wile E. Coyote trying to catch the Roadrunner. They're losing money hand over fist. Just came out a couple of weeks ago, and I actually called this months ago, and somebody else, I think it was Overlord DVD finally, Dieter von Doomcock finally caught wind of it. All these millions and millions of Disney Plus subscribers, the vast majority of them are not paying. They get it free because they're Verizon customers and they're automatically locked into it. That's how they padded their numbers. Paramount Plus is now getting into the act. They signed a deal with Walmart Plus. So now if you're signed up with Walmart Plus, you get a free Paramount Plus subscription. They're going to pad their numbers that way. They don't make a dime off of those. Okay? They might get a token payment from Verizon or Walmart, but they're not getting paid anything by the subscriber. All they're doing is padding their numbers. Disney Plus is supposed to have 150 million subscribers by this point. The numbers I'm seeing is that somewhere between 85 and 90% of those are Verizon subscriptions. They're not getting paid for those. So their actual paying customers are somewhere between 15 and 20 million. Paramount Plus can't even crack that. They can barely crack, I think they haven't even cracked 5 million, I don't think, last I checked. Of course, it's been a while, but now they're looking for any source of cash they can find, and the only place that has a bunch of cash right now are the internet service providers like AT&T and stuff, because basically they've already installed the fiber, they've got the servers in place, they've got all this stuff, so they just keep raking in the cash, and they don't lower the prices to compete with one another. So Screw them all.
Actually, one of them that is being sued is actually, and this is the next news, Comcast wants to buy WB's Discovery to help financial woes and to merge with NBC Universal.
Because that worked so well for AT&T, didn't it? This will happen if they give Corn Pop in the White House enough money. It will happen. And then January 2023, all that money they gave Corn Pop to fast track it, they'll run out of time, the Republicans get wind of it, and they will shut everything down and there will be no merger. And all that money they gave Corn Pop is lost. Just like every other time he smashed a squirrel out of Ukraine. Allegedly. Allegedly. Eventually. Now the idea, this is what galls me out of this entire story, from AT&T buying them straight down to the merger with Discovery and the talk about Comcast and stuff. This is what makes my eyeballs ache. Out of everybody I just mentioned, AT&T, Discovery, Comcast, NBC, Universal, maybe Universal, maybe not. Out of everybody else I mentioned, Warner Brothers has all the intellectual properties. Warner Brothers has the only thing of lasting value. AT&T, for all their 5G crap all over the place, is going to be obsolete in 10 years. They have to replace all that. Comcast, same thing. They own aging cable infrastructures that have to be upgraded to fiber in order to be competitive, and that's going to be obsolete in another 10-15 years. NBC Universal, NBC's been sucking wind for a while. Universal's brightest spot right now is Illumination Entertainment, and they have to go to Nintendo to find anything creative over there. And even then they're casting Chris Pratt, so so it's just, and I know that's not a Nintendo decision. Nintendo did not make that decision. Nintendo is capable of screwing up that hard, but that does not sound like a Nintendo decision. But
Especially if they had to shell out more money for a mega star instead of just
Chris
having their
Pratt
very own.
Chris Pratt doubled the budget by himself. Okay. Because nobody in Hollywood buys the idea that you do this for your kids anymore at union scale. So out of all of them, Warner Brothers is the only one with any kind of lasting intellectual properties, and none of these companies, not even Discovery. Discovery owns Mythbusters and couldn't figure out what to do with them. Discovery owned Dirty Jobs, couldn't figure out what to do with it. Discovery owned History Channel, couldn't figure out what to do with it. They made it the Nazi Channel and then the Alien Visitor Channel. They don't know what they're doing. Discovery doesn't know what they're doing. David Zaslav, I'm cheering him because he's kicking punters left and right, but he doesn't know what he's doing. He can't keep a network focused for more than a year. He doesn't know, he doesn't care, as long as the paychecks don't bounce. So I say, go right ahead. Let NBC and Universal buy Warner Brothers and Discovery and just let them have a big old merge and a big old pity party, and then when their economics finally crash and burn like an economic Hindenburg, let them rot. They are going to come to DC screaming and squealing, we're too big to fail, and you idiots in DC better tell them, no, you're not. But they won't, because all they have to do is throw the dollar bills around like they're yay at a strip club, and is it yay, yee, yay, whatever. It's Kanye. I figure it's yay, but he's never made it easy on anybody anyway. What else you got? Is that it?
All right, I got one more.
Well, he's got one more.
Yeah.
There's one in the chamber. What you got?
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
the Thunderbolt cast have been released.
because Suicide Squad has worked out so well.
So
Now, hold on, there's a Spider-Man movie you can make, Sony, The Superior Foes of Spider-Man. Although that came along after you signed that contract, so you may not have access. That was what the Thunderbolts should have been. Anyway.
alright, so
Well, I just threw that in there. So, you're about to say that they've canceled Thunderbolts and replacing it with Superior Foes of Spider-Man?
no.
Okay. So, who's in Thunderbolts?
Alright, so we
See if I
have
recognize any of them.
actress Hannah Joan Kamen, who will be playing Ghost, which was in Ant-Man 2?
Isn't Ghost supposed to be a guy in the comic books?
I don't
I
know.
remember Dark Horse had a comic book called Ghost, and she was a nice big buxom babe, but
Well, remember that this is from Ant-Man 2, I think. Remember Ghost?
that legendary performance, yeah.
Yeah. So there's that one. Red Guardian will be played by David Harbour. He's from Stranger Things and also played Red Guardian in the Black Widow movie.
Oh, that guy who looked like a complete and total idiot for 2 hours and
Yes.
change.
Yes. Also from Black Widow movie, which
Of course,
is
he's not
actually
the only survivor.
the only person worth watching, I think, is Elena, played by Florence Pugh. She, Black Widow's sister. Come on, she stole the movie.
That was petty theft, man.
She stole the movie. She was
Yeah.
also really good in Hawkeye series.
There was nothing good about the Hawkeye series.
This one just says U.S. agent will be played by Wyatt Russell. Is there a
U.S. agent was...
So that's a character.
U.S. agent
It's not
is a
just-
Captain America character.
Okay.
When Captain America quit because he went all commie back in the 80s, he went all commie pinko and gave up, they recruited a new guy, a new conservative Reaganite guy to take over as Captain America, and when Captain America came back, he managed to take the costume back and everything, and then
So
the guy,
this is,
the replacement turned out was redone as U.S. agent. He wears red, white, and black.
right. So this is the guy who played Captain America in Falcon and the Winter Soldier series.
F that guy. I would rather have the guy who
That's
played
right.
Captain America in the 1977 TV movie than all that show.
Speaking of, Winter Soldier himself will be in this. Sebastian Stan will be playing Winter Soldier. And then Taskmaster, which I heard was a big letdown in the Black Widow movie, played by Olga, I don't know if you want to try to pronounce that
Good,
last name.
because the only one I recognized out of any of those is Sebastian Stan, and I loved Winter Soldier and the Captain America movies. I don't care anymore. Congratulations, you've managed to rub his face into the dirt. I don't care. I'm done with Marvel right now. I'm done. I'm going to give DC another try because DC's always tried to do a little better. At least they're better at course correcting than Marvel is. And as long as Kevin Feige's there sucking up all the oxygen from the, creative people, then Marvel's doomed.
So,
done.
but anyway, the movie
so.
Thunderbolt is supposed to release July 26, 2024.
And that's it for the news-ish stuff. So, it's. I thought you said there was some interesting stuff happening over 3 weeks. We were gone. I'm ready to go away for another 3 weeks at this rate. But
Okay, here's the thing. I know that there was some things that happened. I can't find them.
they've been memory hold.
And I'm like, where are these? Where are these? I know that there was more interesting things. These were things that I've written down a long time ago as well, and except for the news stuff. There is 2 other news things, but I really didn't know if I should write them down because I know you probably wouldn't
We're
care.
45 minutes into this, and we still got to do our episode of Backrack Video this week. So I got to talk about film noir for about 15 minutes,
Ooh!
which I can do very, very easily. So you'll find out soon enough. So, anything else, Chris? You've thrown away all your cards, so that's a good sign. He's done. We're done with Chris.
Yes.
So,
I don't know
he's
what
so,
that was. I'm
he's so
sorry.
happy he gets to talk about classic films. Good films, actually.
Oh.
So, we'll try not to wait another 3 weeks before we do another one of these. Coming out later this week, hopefully I'll get Aftermath out before this thing does. We'll see. I should be getting the new back rack video, which is Hello to Film Noir, coming up. And until then, we'll be back next week with another episode of more Geekin' Out and more back rack video, and we'll see where we go from there. But
Where should we go from here?
I guess our next Aftermath is going to be coming up probably after Black Panther hits, which means, well, what'll happen is if you can find any way to get into Chris's Film Geek group, it's Film Geek, right?
Listen, all you gotta do, you can go there and you can look at, so you can't look at nothing?
Oh, I can look at something, I just have to log in. But it's just,
No, I mean,
Facebook
like-
makes it hard to download the video. You have to do
Okay,
it.
I didn't know
I
if my
can do
group
it.
was, like, you can actually go to my group and look at the things I posted, or to become a member.
You gotta become a member first, apparently. So.
Oh, no, I have to fix that.
Yeah, you have to fix that. You have to go ahead and make things public. So
Oh,
you can see it.
wait, I remember now. Yes, I remember now. I did do that on purpose. Because somebody was going on there and posting stuff that that didn't belong on there. That's what it was, yes. There was a dude from, like, I don't know what country it was, but he was, like, posting,
Stupid stuff.
what was it? It was something like, it was selling something.
It was.
I don't know, but it was something.
It was
I
season
like,
2
no.
of She-Hulk.
Oh. That's what I forgot to write down. Yes.
Yes, they're gonna do
How it was
season 2
nothing
of
but a
She-Hulk.
joke.
Yeah.
The creators came out and was like it was a joke.
Yeah.
It was like a big slap in the face.
Yeah.
That's what they said. And it's like, wow.
Right.
Wow.
In other words, you sucked and we called you out on it, and now you gotta play it off, because if you don't, you'll never get work again. So anyway, so for when Black Panther comes out, when does that come out, Chris? November sometime, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Keep your eyes open. We'll be posting our next live stream probably about 3 o'clock Saturday afternoon when Black Panther comes out, and then we'll probably do Shazam after that, and that'll be Christmas, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So Aftermath Aftermath will be coming, where we just give our live reactions. And if we get really, really silly about it, we might actually just start posting from the lobby of 10th Frame. There's a threat. Yeah, let the look on your face, because we'll never get away with that.
I mean, I'm sure that they will probably let us if I talk to certain people, but how will we do it? Because people will be coming in, customers will be coming in. We're like,
That's alright. What we do is we just sit there and we do what we do every single time the AC kicks in. We talk louder!
Alright.
And now the beloved's going
Sounds
to
good.
come in storming in, wondering what in the world.
Sounds
So, until next time, Happy Campers, I'm Spike,
I'm Chris.
and we'll have you keep on geeking out. See you down the road.
See ya.